Hello everybody, my name is Neil Shawnee, and many people, as they take part in an online training course for the first time, are a little bit confused about how to use Zoom as a participant. The internet is full of things about how to use it as a host, how to set up breakout rooms, how to manage different participants, how to boot people out if you need to, but very little about how to use Zoom as a participant. So if you are going to take part in a training course, either with us or with somebody else, or a meeting, and you're going to be using Zoom as a participant, here's everything you need to know to make things work. So I'm assuming for this that you have downloaded the Zoom app, you've installed it, you've set yourself up with an account, and it's on your computer. Here's your home window, and what we need to do to join a meeting is to click the join button. I will change my wife's name to my name in there, and then I need to input my meeting ID, which should be in the invitation you've received to the meeting. So my ID is 984-999-2389 for the meeting I'm about to join. I'm just going to click do not connect to audio because I don't want sound problems. That's where we're going through this video, but I don't recommend you do that. And I'm going to press join, and it will ask me for a password. So there's my password for joining this meeting. It then brings up this window and it asks me if I want to join with video. Let's say yes, because hey, you can see me now, and it's important to have some connection between the person who's running the meeting and the person who is taking part. So it's good for the trainer or the meeting host's point of view if they can see your face. So unless you've got like major bandwidth problems, or I don't know, you're still in your pajamas or something, then do join with video, which I am doing there. Takes a couple of seconds to connect, and then it tells me that I am in the waiting room waiting for the host to let me in. So I'm just going to step over to my other computer and let myself into my own meeting. There you go. It takes a second to connect, and then I should be in. Okay, and I'm going to ignore the sound because I don't want audio because it might spoil things for the video. But here you go, here's my Zoom window. A couple of things we're going to look at first of all. The most important one's down here, I guess. You've got the join audio button. Now if I had joined the audio, that would instead say mute, which gives you the opportunity to mute yourself during a meeting. So if you've got a dog barking or a child coming in and screaming, or I don't know, just any noise in the background, or maybe even you're just in an echoey room, do mute yourself because it will make the experience better for others. But do unmute yourself and take part. Zoom is not there so you can sit there doing that at the screen. Zoom is there so that you can replicate as closely as possible the experience of real life training, meetings, and so on. So use the mute button on and off, and you've got the stop video button there. If you begin having bandwidth problems, then you can stop the video, which should improve your connection. What's the next thing to look at? Next thing to look at is the views button. So this is called the speaker view, and you can see my little face just in here in the middle. If I had my video on and I was hosting from two chairs, which is kind of weird, but if I had somebody in there, then you would see that person very clearly, so you can have a good one-to-one conversation. You might choose gallery view. Gallery view is very helpful if you've got maybe a number of different people that you want to see and you want to see everyone in an equal sized box. You've only got two here because there's only me and myself hosting this meeting, but if you've got maybe 20 people here, you'll see each person in a different box across the screen. So you can play with those views as you want, and you can press full screen mode as well to remove things like the taskbar along the bottom of your screen. So what might happen during your Zoom meeting or your Zoom training course? Well, the trainer or the meeting host might put you into a breakout room. And when that happens, something will pop up on your screen inviting you to join a breakout room, and you can do that. But when you get in there, you might want to create a whiteboard to share with other people in your breakout group and to be able to then capture some ideas about what you're talking about. So if that happens, what you need to do is you'll need to press this button at the bottom here which says share screen, the green square with the arrow in, and then it brings you up a number of windows that you've got open, and one of those is a whiteboard. So I'm going to share my whiteboard with other participants, and that's all a whiteboard is. It's a whiteboard, a white window. nothing on it. But what then does pop up is the annotation bar. So on this whiteboard, you and the other participants, and I'll show you how to edit someone else's whiteboard in a second and how to find the tools. If it's your whiteboard, the tools pop up there automatically. But you can type some things. You can draw squiggly lines, arrows, shapes, and so on. You can put stamps to indicate things, stars, good work, love hearts, whatever you want to do. You've got the spotlight function where you can literally just hover over things and highlight things to other viewers. Erasers, that's what you think. The format button, you can change your color, you can change the width of the line, you can change the font of your text, or certainly the bold or italic, and the size. You've got undo and redo. You've got the clear button. The clear button, if it's your whiteboard that you've created and shared, you can choose to clear everything, all drawings, just your drawings, but leave anything anyone else has put on, or clear the viewer's drawings, but leave yours intact. Choice for you is depending on what works for you at the time. But the most important thing for the whiteboard is this button here where it says save, because if you're in a breakout room working on a whiteboard and you go back into the main meeting, the whiteboard won't come with you. So you need to make sure you save it, and you need to make sure you can find it if you want to then go and share that with other people. So I'm going to press the save button and you'll see what happens there. It says whiteboard saved, and then there's a link there saying show in folder. Sometimes it can be hard to find these whiteboards. They go into your documents in the Zoom folder, but by far the easiest way to make sure you've then got it and you're not hunting around in your PC is to click the show in folder button, which will bring the folder up from that one meeting, and there you go. In there you can see I've saved it twice, so it's in there twice. I'll show you how to share that with the other participants in a second, but let's now imagine I'm leaving the breakout room. I'm going to press stop share, so that's now gone. And I can get back into the main session, and the host of the meeting or the trainer on the training course says, show me your whiteboard from your meeting. Oh, where's that gone? Well, we know where it is now, don't we? Because we've pressed that button to show in the folder. And if I look at my taskbar here is my folder, and I can open one of the whiteboards up here. All I now need to do is to go back to Zoom and share that window. So I go back to share screen. Here's all the windows I've got open on my PC, and I'll share that photo viewer one. Press share, and now other people can see the whiteboard that we created in our breakout room. So whiteboards are a great way to capture ideas, a great way to collaborate on documents, really helpful to then go and share back to the host and the other participants, kind of tricky to find. So if you follow that, that will make your life a lot easier. I'm going to press stop share again, and to finish off, let's look at these last couple of buttons. You've got reactions, so if you want to, when the host says something, you can applaud. You can see there, it shows I'm applauding up in the corner of my window, or you can put your thumbs up. The record button, you're unlikely to be able to use that unless the host has given you permission to record, which in general hosts tend not to do because they tend to record things themselves, but the button is there if you're wondering. You've got the chat button. I have to say I'm not a huge fan of the chat button. It can be quite distracting when you're trying to run a meeting or a training course and you've got, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, 100 people all saying, hello everyone, in the chat box. Because what happens then? It means I just get distracted. So I would say best practice for Zoom meetings, if you've got a lowish number of people, is just speak like you would in a normal meeting. However, do check with your host. Some hosts love the chat function, and particularly if it's a busy meeting, then it might be better than the same. But it gives you the option to either say it to everyone or to send a message just to one person, just to the host. And that you can see it's popped up there privately. What else have we got? The last one, the participants window. Shows you the other participants, but also on this you've got other things you can do to notify the host that perhaps you want to say something. You can raise your hand, but you don't need to do it for real. You press the raise hand button and the host will see that you've raised your hand, and that person will then get to you when necessary. You can say yes to things, you can say no to things, you can ask the host to go faster or slower, you can tell the host you want a cup of coffee, or whatever it might be. So there you go. How to use Zoom as a participant, that covers the key functionality of it. I wish you all the best when you next take part in your Zoom training course or meeting. Do have a play with it first, and it's a very useful tool as well.